This is a Swift Challenger 480. It's going to take you around the van, show you how it operates. Front of the van, Swift Archway, 480. You've got the hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake at the front of the van. And we'll demonstrate that in person to you here on site. Front locker, you've got your gas regulator on the bulkhead with a changeover valve. So essentially what you can do is you can have two pipes connected, one on either side. And then you can change over the gas supply by turning the dial around anti-clockwise or clockwise, depending on what bottle you're going to. Got your wind down legs on either side of the front of the caravan to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. You would never lift the caravan with the wind down legs, it could potentially damage the floor of the caravan. Then got your Aldi heating and hot water flue on this side of the van at the front, and that is there for the heating and hot water systems. Then got your water pump that comes straight into the side of the van and drops down inside the aqua roll itself, and that is for the water pickup from the aqua roll to the caravan. Battery box, you've got your battery connections on top and your mains power lead coming into the side of the van. Fridge vents, the fridge vents are there to allow the hot air out the side of the fridge unit. There's also a gas flue on the top right hand side of this one for the gas operation of the fridge, but like I said, they'll blow out the hot air and take in some cool air to keep the fridge cool. Motor mover and wheel nuts, we'll come back to the motor mover and the wheel nuts while you're here on site, so we'll demonstrate the mover and we'll torque the wheel nuts to the correct manufacturer's setting prior to you leaving site. Grey waste pipes coming out the side of the van is where the waste water will come out, so essentially if fresh water goes in the front, it has to come out somewhere, and that will come out through these vents, through these pipes just down the side here. And I've got your toilet flush tank. 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. And then in the bottom you've got your toilet waste cassette, which you access by pulling the orange handle back. The orange neck here will turn around so you can tip the waste away. And on the back of the cassette you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you are tipping the waste away it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. Prior to using the cassette you'll need to put 1 litre of water in there and a cap full of the blue fluid. Either side at the back of the van you've got your wind down legs again, and again they are only there for stabilising the van and not lifting the van. Going down the door side you've got a 230 volt socket, so you can have power running out to your awning, your underbed storage and your barbecue gas point at the front, and then just behind the locker door you'll see your the last of the wind down legs. Go inside the van, above the door you have your main power switch for the caravan, so you've got power on, water pump run, leisure battery voltage, vehicle battery voltage, so essentially when you connect it to the car it will tell you how much voltage is coming through from the cart to the caravan, and you've got your view level buttons here. Diagram at the top here tells you what you're connected to power wise, so you've got a green dot here on the power post, green dot on the caravan, and if you're connected to the car you'd have a green dot on the car also. To the left of that up here, you've got your Aldi heating and hot water control panel, but I'll come back to this in a moment. Very, very simple to use heating and hot water system. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over to each tap on board the caravan to fill the water system. You're going to open all the taps up on the hot side. As you can see I've already done. We're going to open all them taps up on the hot side. As you can see I have already done all the systems on board the van. We'd open all 3 taps up. You come underneath the seat at the front, under the front right hand side of the van, and you'd make sure the yellow drain down valve is parallel with the floor. If that valve is parallel with the floor, then the water system is ready to be filled. If that yellow valve is pointing upright towards the bottom of the seat, then it will drain all the water off the system on board the caravan. So now that valve's parallel with the floor, we'll come, like I said, we'll open all the taps up, and the next thing we'll do is turn on the water pump above the door. So water pump off, no light, water pump on with the green light. At that point the water system will start filling, and then you'll have water running out of every tap continuously, as you can see here. Once all the taps are flowing water completely, you'll shut all of the taps off, as I've just demonstrated, and then you'll be able to start warming the water on board the caravan. So this control panel above the door is your Aldi heating and hot water control panel, as I said. Home screen here, 25 degrees at the minute internally on this caravan. We're going to press menu. It's going to take us into the options for the van. So you've got your room temperature plus and minus, so you can set the temperature inside. So that's essentially your thermostat for the heating. Below that, you've got your water temperature. So you've got water on and water boost. So when the bar's half full, that's water on. And when it's completely to the top, that's water boost. Below that, you've got your option to how much power is coming into the caravan. So you've got 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatt, or 3 kilowatts. Now this is only relevant to the heating and hot water, nothing else on board the van. So at the moment, as you can see, we're set up on 1 kilowatt, and essentially that means the heating and hot water systems will kick in at 1 kilowatt of power. Below that, you've got the option to run gas. So if the gas was turned on in the front locker, you could press the gas option down here. The gas system will self-ignite as long as the gas system has been bled. So essentially I'd advise before you start doing anything, you go over to the hob and bleed the gas through on the hob so you know you've got gas to every component of the caravan. So like I said, very simple to use control panel at the top here. You've got room temperature, water temperature, amount of power coming into the caravan for the heating and hot water system, and then you've got your option to run gas on the bottom left hand side here. Next thing we come to is the fridge. Now very simple to use on this particular van. You've got power on and off just here on this button, so you've got power on. The blue light here behind the plug symbol indicates that we've got mains power coming to the caravan. And on electric or gas, you can control the temperature of the fridge on this button on the right hand side. You can run gas, but again, I'd advise you go over to the hob, get the gas through on the hob first, then try to ignite the cooker. It's just that the cooker is the last point on the gas system, or the hob is. So it will self-ignite on gas, and when it does ignite on gas, you can use the temperature control again on the right hand side to control the temperature of the fridge. 12 volt mode. Essentially, when you're towing down the road, you can use the fridge as a call box. And by what you need to do for that is you need to go to the outside of the van, or to the front of the van with the car there, connect the car up first, then come inside and turn the fridge on and go for the 12 volt mode, and essentially it'll make the fridge work as a cool box. So essentially when you get on site, the beers and wine will be nice and cold. So 240 volt mode is what you generally run it on though when you're on site. If you haven't got that available, then you can obviously go for the gas option. The 12 volt mode will not work off the battery on the caravan. It is just the 12 volt power supply from the car you are towing with. Microwave, etc. runs very much like your household appliance. So you've got your power option at the bottom here, start, stop up the side, quick start, stop, etc. which I think is about 30 seconds on these microwaves normally. That'll kick in and cook as you require it. Cooker, electric ring at the back that you see just there, will only work when you're on 240 mains power. It will not work on 12 volt power source. Gas rings, if you are off grid, best option to use, and then your oven is gas the grill and oven is gas as you'd expect it to be, with your igniter on the front just here. Bathroom, all pretty self-explanatory. One thing I'm going to show you in the bathroom is, apart from the toilet system, in the cupboard at the rear of the van, we get asked about this quite a lot. All the heating tank, when it's cold it will actually say minimum. When it's hot it will go up to the maximum. Obviously the antifreeze in there expands as the caravan heats up, essentially, if you've got the heating turned on. Toilet system, very simple to use. Electric flush on top. Full indicator light for the toilet waste cassette, so essentially this light will go red when the toilet waste cassette is full. Below the toilet you have your waste handle, so you'll pull the waste handle across to allow the toilet waste to go in the toilet cassette underneath the van. And the toilet seat itself turns for your convenience. However, when you are removing the toilet waste cassette from under the van, you need to make sure that toilet seat is pointing straight across towards the cabinet on the other side, where you'll actually find your table for the front of the van in there also. The reason for that is it actually has a lockout on the toilet seat itself, so when the toilet seat is turned, it won't allow you to remove that cassette from underneath the van. If you have any further questions on the Swift Challenger Archway, SE, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company and we'd be more than happy to help. We thank you for the business and we look forward to seeing you here on site when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.